Level 1. The asset. The envelope is already on your desk. You did not see who left it. You never do. It is a thick manila envelope, unmarked, the kind that contains no return address because return addresses do not exist in this world. Inside, a passport, not in your name, a burner phone, and a single photograph. You know the face in the photograph. You have been studying it for 3 weeks. This is not what you expected. You expected gadgets. You expected a man in a suit handing you a gun and a license to do things other people cannot do. Instead, you are sitting in a studio apartment on the outskirts of a city you are not supposed to be in, and the only thing between you and failure is your ability to remember a schedule. You are an asset. Level 1. The handler told you never to say that word out loud. You are a contractor, a consultant, a friend of a friend who owes a favor. The language of intelligence is built entirely on words that mean something else. At this level, you do not know who you are working for. You have a theory, you have several theories, but a theory is just a story you tell yourself to feel less blind. Your job is simple. Watch the man in the photograph, log his movements, note who he meets, where he eats, what time he turns off the light in his apartment. You do not approach him, you do not photograph him, you just watch. Every day, you upload a report to a secure server you cannot name. Every week, an envelope of cash appears under your doormat. 3D 400, always on Friday, always in unmarked bills. You tell yourself this is not real, that this is a game, that you could walk away at any moment. But you already stopped asking yourself that question. The first compromise is invisible because it feels like caution. You stop telling friends where you're going. You stop posting on social media. You stop answering calls after 9 p.m. These are not losses. These are operational security. Everyone in this line of work does the same thing. Except you are not in this line of work. Not yet. You are just a person with an envelope and a photograph. And then, 6 weeks in, the photograph changes. The handler, you have never seen his face, only heard his voice through a voice scramble, gives you a new target. A woman this time. She works in the same building as the man you were watching. Your instructions expand. You are not just watching anymore. You are recording. Not video, audio. A directional microphone aimed at her office window from the rooftop across the street. You do not know what she is saying. You do not need to know. Your job is to capture, compress, and transmit. At level 1, you are a tool. A very specific tool with very specific skills. But a tool does not ask why. A tool does not wonder if the woman has children. A tool does not stay awake at 3 a.m. wondering what happens to the files after you send them. You stay awake anyway. But by the 3rd month, you stop staying awake. Sleep comes easier now. The absence of questions feels like peace. Level 2, the courier. You knew this promotion would come. You just did not know when. The handler's voice changes, less distortion, more direct. He uses your first name now, not your real one, but the name on the passport. You have become that person. You answer to it without hesitation. You are now a courier. Level 2. The difference is simple. Assets watch, couriers move. Your first run is a hard drive. Standard USB, black casing, no markings. You pick it up from a locker in a bus station. You drop it in a trash can outside a courthouse exactly 47 minutes later. In between, you do nothing. You do not look at the drive. You do not wonder what is on it. You do not deviate from the route. The money changes, $7,200 per run, 3 runs per week. You rent a better apartment. You buy better clothes. You start using cash for everything because cards leave trails, and trails are the enemy. You have not checked your bank account in 4 months. You are not sure if it still exists. The psychological shift is subtle but absolute. At level 1, you watched other people's lives. At level 2, you become responsible for the movement of information that shapes those lives. You do not know what the information is, but you know it matters. You can feel the weight of it in the hard drive's slight warmth after a long transfer. The rationalization is clean. You are not hurting anyone. You are just moving a thing from one place to another. If you did not do it, someone else would, and you are good at this. Precise, punctual, invisible. But invisibility has a cost. You stop seeing your family, not because you are avoiding them, because you genuinely forget. Your life has become a series of windows. The window between pickup and drop-off. The window between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. when the city is quiet enough to move. The window between who you were and who you are becoming. The handler gives you a phone, encrypted, heavier than a normal phone. It rings at odd hours. You answer every time. You do not know what happens if you miss a call. You do not want to find out. Your third run is different. The drop location change because mid-route. You receive a text, just a single letter, C. You have been trained for this. C means compromised. C means abandon the package and leave the area immediately. You drop the hard drive into a storm drain and walk away. You do not look back. You do not run. You walk exactly 3 blocks, get on a bus, ride it to the end of the line, and spend the night in a motel under a different name. The next morning, the handler calls. His voice is calm. Good work, he says. The package was a test. A test. They risked your life, or at least your freedom, to see if you would follow protocol. And you did. You did exactly what you were told. That is when you realize you are no longer a person who makes choices. You are a person who follows orders. Somewhere between level 1 and level 2, the decision-making muscle atrophied. You do not know if you want it back. Level 3, the facilitator. The handler gives you a key, not a metaphor, a physical key, brass, heavy. It opens a storage unit on the outskirts of the city. Inside the storage unit, weapons, cash, blank passports, a laptop, and a burner phone with exactly 1 contact. Your title changes. You are a facilitator. Level 3. At this level, you stop moving things and start moving people. You arrange safe houses. You book travel under false names. You launder money through businesses that do not officially exist. You are the infrastructure of the network. Without you, the spies cannot spy. The couriers have nowhere to go. The assets have no one to report to. You meet your handler in person for the first time. He is not what you expected. No trench coat, no sunglasses indoors. He is a middle-aged man in a gray sweater who looks like he should be grading papers at a community college. He smiles. He shakes your hand. He asks if you want coffee. You do not trust the coffee. You drink it anyway. The money at level 3 is real. $240,000 per year, deposited into accounts you do not control but can access. You buy a car, you buy a watch, you buy a sense of permanence that you know is an illusion. The compromises escalate in ways you did not anticipate. You hire people, not spies, normal people. A cleaner who works 3 nights a week, a driver who does not ask questions, a tech guy who installs encrypted routers and says things like AES-256 and zero-day exploit as if they are weather reports. These people do not know what you do. They think you are in logistics. They are not wrong exactly. The problem is loyalty. The network expects you to vet everyone you hire, but vetting means investigating. Investigating means finding things. And finding things means discovering that your cleaner has a brother in prison, that your driver has a gambling debt, that your tech guy sold classified information to a rival network 3 years ago. You report the tech guy. You do it without hesitation. He disappears. You do not ask where. You do not want to know. That night, you sit in your car outside your apartment for 20 minutes before going inside. You are not sad. You are not guilty. You are calculating. You are running through every interaction you ever had with the tech guy, looking for exposure, looking for anything he might have recorded, looking for leverage he might have kept. This is the erosion. You do not mourn the man you destroyed. You protect the network that ordered you to destroy him. Somewhere in your mind, a door closes. Behind that door is the version of you who would have felt something. You do not need that door anymore. Level 4, the case officer, they clear the room. It is just you and him now. The handler, your former handler, sits across from you in an empty warehouse. The floor is concrete. The lights are fluorescent. There is a single metal chair between you. On the chair, a file. Your file. He says, "You are ready. You are a case officer, level 4. The shift is fundamental. You no longer take orders. You give them. You manage a network of assets, couriers, and facilitators. You decide who lives and who burns. You decide which operations move forward and which get terminated. You are no longer a tool. You are the hand that holds the tool." The salary becomes abstract, $480,000. But you cannot spend it openly. You cannot explain to anyone where the money comes from. You own a house on paper, but the deed is under a shell company. You drive a car that is registered to a dead man. You exist in the cracks between identities. At level 4, you learn the truth. The network is not what you thought. There is no central command, no man in a room with a flag behind him making grand speeches. The network is a series of overlapping loyalties, factions within factions, old grudges, debts that stretch back decades. You are not working for a country or an agency. You are working for a handful of people who agreed, years ago, to trust each other. And now you are one of them. The first operation you run is a recruitment. You have identified a mid-level bureaucrat with access to trade negotiations. He has a daughter. She has a drug problem. You do not exploit the daughter. You do not need to. You simply make sure the bureaucrat knows you know. He comes to you. He always comes. You sit with him in a cafe. You talk about his daughter's recovery. You offer help, real help, a clinic in Switzerland, a new identity for her if she wants it. All he has to do is share the agenda for next week's trade talks. He cries. You do not. That night, you write the report. You do not mention the crying. You do not mention the daughter. You write, subject acquired, full cooperation expected. The identity erosion at level 4 is almost complete. You still remember who you were before the envelope, but the memory has no emotional weight. It is like watching a movie about someone else. That person worried about rent. That person called his mother on Sundays. That person believed in things like justice and truth and the fundamental goodness of people. You do not believe in anything now, except the network. The network is real. The network is everything. The network will outlive you. Level 5. The Deputy Director of Operations. The vote was 3 hours ago. You already know what it means. You are no longer in the field. You are in a room. The room has no windows. The room has a table. The table has 12 seats. 11 are filled. The 12th is yours. You are the Deputy Director of Operations, Level 5. At this level, you do not recruit, you do not run, you design, you build the architecture of every operation in your region, you allocate resources, you approve budgets, you sign off on surveillance, on black bag jobs, on the occasional liquidation when an asset becomes a liability. The money stops mattering. You have more than you can spend. What matters now is leverage, information, the 1,000 small threads that connect every person in your world to every other person. You know where the bodies are buried because you buried some of them yourself. Your days are spent in meetings that sound like chess matches played by people who hate each other. The head of counterintelligence thinks you are too aggressive. The head of analysis thinks you are too slow. The financiers think everyone is too expensive. You navigate these conflicts with the same precision you once used to navigate a city with a hard drive in your pocket. The psychological toll is different now. You are not losing yourself. You have already lost yourself. What you are losing now is the ability to distinguish between the network's interests and your own. There is no difference. That is the problem. You authorize an operation against a rival network. The operation goes wrong. 3 of your people are arrested. 1 is killed. The official story is a car accident. You write the press release yourself. You attend the funeral. You stand in the rain and watch a woman you have never met bury a man whose real name you do not know. You do not cry. You cannot cry. That part of you is gone. But you feel something, not guilt, not grief, something colder. You feel the weight of the decision. You feel the calculus that led to it. You knew the risks. You accepted them on behalf of people who did not have a vote. That is what level 5 means. You make the choices so no one else has to. At night, you sit in your apartment, a different apartment now, one with security cameras, and a reinforced door, in a panic room you have never used, and you scroll through your contacts. 847 names, each one a thread, each thread attached to a person who trusts you. You do not trust any of them. That is not paranoia, that is experience. At level 5, you know that everyone has a price. Everyone has a vulnerability. Everyone can be turned, including you, especially you. Level 6, the station chief. They give you a country. Not literally, but effectively. You are the station chief. Level 6, you have operational control over an entire geographic region. Your signature can start a war. Your phone call can stop one. You answer to exactly 3 people, and 2 of them are older than you. The money is irrelevant. You do not touch money anymore. You have people for that. What you have now is something more valuable: jurisdiction. Your office is in an embassy. The embassy has diplomatic immunity. The immunity covers everything you do, as long as you do it quietly. You have a staff of 47. Most of them do not know what you really do. The ones who do know have been with you for years. They are loyal. They are effective. They are also, potential liabilities. You keep files on every one of them, not because you plan to use the files, because you cannot afford not to have them. At level 6, the operations become geopolitical. You are not targeting individuals anymore. You are targeting governments. You are cultivating ministers. You are blackmailing generals. You are running disinformation campaigns designed to shift elections in countries whose names you cannot pronounce. The rationalization is almost beautiful. You are maintaining stability. You are protecting interests. You are doing what needs to be done so the people back home can sleep soundly in their beds. You do not sleep soundly. You have not slept soundly in years. The isolation at level 6 is profound. You cannot talk to anyone outside the network. Your family thinks you are a diplomat. Your friends, you do not have friends anymore. You have contacts. You have assets. You have people who owe you favors, and people who fear you, and people who would kill you if they had the chance. But no one who knows you, no one who knew you before the envelope. There is a single moment, when you almost break. It is 3 a.m. You are reviewing surveillance footage from an operation that went sideways. The footage shows a man you recruited 5 years ago. He was a good asset, reliable. He gave you everything. In the footage, he is handcuffed to a chair in a basement. He is confessing, not because he wants to, because they broke his fingers, one by one. You watch the video on a loop. You do not look away. You owe him that much. Afterward, you pour a glass of whiskey. You hold it up. You do not say a toast. You just hold it there, in the dark, for a long time. Then you drink. Then you go back to work. Level 7, the ghost. Your name is never spoken. Not because it is secret, because it is no longer necessary. You are the ghost. Level 7, you have no office, no staff, no official existence. Your fingerprints are not in any database. Your face appears in no photographs. When people refer to you, and they do, always in whispers, they use a designation, a number, a color, never a name. At level 7, you have transcended the network. You are not part of it. You are above it. You do not run operations. You decide which operations are worth running. You set strategy for the next decade. You identify threats that will not materialize for years and build countermeasures that will deploy long after you are dead. The power is absolute. So is the isolation. You live in a compound. The compound has no address. It is located somewhere in a country that does not ask questions. You have a staff of 12. They are not employees. They are devotees. They have given up their own lives to serve yours. You do not know their real names. You do not want to. The psychological state at level 7 is difficult to describe. You are not happy. You are not sad. You are not anxious or content or afraid. You are something else. You are the personification of the network's will. Your desires, what few remain, are indistinguishable from the network's needs. You have compromised everything: your relationships, your morality, your identity, your future. There is no version of your life that does not end in this compound, in this room, with this weight. You think about level 1 sometimes, the envelope, the photograph, the studio apartment. You think about the person you were before you opened that envelope. You try to remember his face. You cannot. The only thing you can feel now is the long arc of consequence. Every decision you made, every compromise you accepted, every person you sacrificed, they are all still here with you in this room with no windows. You do not regret them. Regret requires a self to feel it. That self is gone. Level 8, the legend. You are not sure if you are still alive. That is not a metaphor. At level 8, you have become more symbol than person. Your existence is a rumor. Your directives are myth. When the network needs something impossible, someone invokes your name. No one knows if you actually gave the order. It does not matter. The name is enough. You are the legend. Level 8. There is no promotion to this level. There is no ceremony, no vote, no file. One day, you realize that no one has given you an order in years. No one has questioned your authority. No one has even seen you. You are not running the network. You are the network's immune system. You exist to handle threats so existential that no one else can be trusted to know they exist. The cost is total. You have not spoken to another person in 18 months. Your handlers, the people who once managed your movements, now receive instructions from an encrypted terminal that bears your authorization code. They do not know if you are the one typing. They assume you are. They have to assume. You sit in a room. The room is dark. The room is quiet. The room contains a desk, a chair, a computer, and a gun. The gun is not for enemies. The gun is for the day you decide the legend has become a liability. That day has not come yet. It may never come. You do not know. What you know is this. The system you entered as a frightened asset in a studio apartment has consumed you entirely. There is nothing left that was yours. Your memories belong to the network. Your skills belong to the network. Your remaining years, however many there are, belong to the network. You are untouchable. You are irreplaceable. You are a ghost in a machine that you helped build, and you have no way out. The cycle continues. Somewhere, in a studio apartment on the outskirts of a city you left behind years ago, a young man opens an envelope. The envelope contains a passport, not in his name, a burner phone, and a single photograph. He does not know who left the envelope. He does not know who he is working for. He thinks this is a game. He thinks he can walk away at any time. He thinks the compromises he will make are small things: a missed phone call, a forgotten birthday, a lie told to a friend. He believes he understands what he is walking into. He does not, but he will.